Thank you for watching.
You would think that in a case like this, that is such a huge case, that the confession, that the interrogation would be done correctly by professional investigators. So, what this attorney Ansari just said, that sometimes confessions are coerced and forced. I was like, what do you mean they're forced? That is one of the reasons that is so important with that law enforcement when it does such an important interview like this, a confession, if you will, that it be videotaped. Because when you see a person on videotape, and there's their face there, and you could see they're voluntarily submitting to the questioning, voluntarily answering questions after Miranda warnings, which I just read to you. After the Miranda warnings, you could see it's not coerced, forced, or anything. So you would think that Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, whoever did these interviews, had their very best people interviewing, taking a statement from Tifany, who's going to admit to the murders. Don't you think they should have their very best interviewer? And then we get the arrest affidavit that outlines all of the information on that, how she had searched things on her computer. Get her to admit to that. Did you search on your computer how to get someone out of their house? Did you search on your computer how to cause pain with a stun gun? Get her to admit to all those things that's in this affidavit. Get it coming out of her lips. And how did you plan this? Get her to admit everything in this interview. Interviews, confessions for double murders should not be a short interview. It should take hours and hours and hours, and perhaps be 10 to 15 pages long of all the information that you want to solicit from this person, and get them again to admit to everything. And then we want to know, of course, what we don't know right now, the cause of death. And the police have not offered that yet, nor has the pathologist. But I'm sure in this interview with Tifany Adams, she 100%, told them how she killed them, right? And when she tells them that, and they match that up with the evidence, so important. From the chat, Dr. D, thank you for providing real information instead of garbage pulled off of Facebook. Your professionalism is appreciated. Thank you, Dr. D, very much appreciated. You know something, one of the things I'll just tell a lot of you guys, everyone that does true crime and real crime, we can make mistakes, we can make information mistakes, because there's a lot of information and there's a lot of different cases that we cover. But I don't mind someone pointing out to me or to a guest that was on my show that they made a mistake in their information. That's fine, but do it politely. There's some nasty people in the chat sometimes. You didn't do this, and I lost all my faith, and then people will tell you, I'm unsubscribing. Go ahead. You're a master of your own destiny. I admit to you, I sometimes make mistakes. And, is there anyone on YouTube who doesn't? The difference is, though, I have some credentials. I was a homicide investigator. I was on the NYPD for 27 years. So we know about this stuff, and we know how the best kind of case is put together. And very important, of course, when you talk about a confession, get that confession, cross your T's, dot your I's, go over it, have the defendant, have the person who's confessing, have them sign it. Have them sign it at the bottom. Have them sign it on the side so nothing can be put in afterwards. Have it lined out. That's a professional confession. And then when they match up the written confession with, in this case, it sounds like there's an audio confession. I don't know why they would use audio. They should use video. And for that very reason that the attorney for News Nation, Ansari, said some confessions are coerced, some are forced. Oh, is that what you believe? Okay, then if they had videotape, they could not say it was coerced or forced when you watch the defendant waive all the Miranda rights, and then go and make a statement on what they did. So I don't understand why. Uh, I don't understand why they would not videotape it. Pauline Buckles. That's a cool thing to say, Dr. D. Thank you, Schmitty. I agree. Exhaustive interview. Heather, good to see you, Heather. Schmitty, Sergeant Bill is not washed up. I told you guys the other night, we did a show last week, and someone in the chat said myself, Bobby Chacon, the retired FBI agent, and Mike Geary are 3 washed up cops. I instead of me getting annoyed, I thought it was funny. In fact, I used it in a thumbnail for our next show. 3 washed up cops give their opinion on such and such. And then when you see the washed up cops, their credentials, Bobby Chacon, 27-year FBI agent, law degree, head of the scuba team for the FBI, been all over the world. Professor Mike Geary, law degree, sergeant NYPD, professor. It's like, yeah, they're washed up. I guess I guess they're washed up. One law, 214. I can't imagine anyone coercing disgraced granny. One law. I think you're 100% correct. I think grandma would understand her Miranda warnings and would she waived them though. Sometimes you